Hello, my beauties and bees. It's time for Creation Watch, where we're going to explore some of that sweet young earth creationism today. So I hope you're here for it. All right. Thank you for joining me. I'm here with my live captive audience today over in Live from the Hive. So say hello to everybody out there watching this with me as we break this down. Now, I tend to try not to tread over the same ground over and over again and bore you guys with the same old content, right? But sometimes you have to. Sometimes you got to revisit the old standbys because they go and do something dumb. And I'm just gonna drop this right here. This is what we're talking about today. Oh gosh, I always forget how Kent Hovind does his screen where it's, hold on, I can fix it. What are we doing here? There we are. We're just gonna yoink him in. There you go. We'll just do him like that. All right. So, if this doesn't startle you, I don't know what will. Are we looking at the Hovind sex tapes? No. Not today, anyway. But, you know, I want to say before I get too deep into this, thank you so much, Majestic P. Beck, for the $2. Really appreciate you. And I don't know if you're what the Beck. I have another friend named Beck too, so I don't know if you're the same person. But if you are, love. All right, adult content. Yeah, we got a warning for adult content from Dr. Dino on making babies. And today, I didn't even know that this slipped under the radar for me. Yeah, I'm as bad as Kent. Sure. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm not going to poke at that. I'm sad about that. When you think you can have when you reach across the aisle. Anyway, but I didn't even know that Kent had done a video on praying mantises. Fantastic. I jumped ahead 2 minutes because it's all like just dinosaur Adventureland chilling and stuff before that. So let's go.
Okay, tonight's content on making babies with the praying mantis might have some adult content. Parents, you can judge where you want your kids to watch this or not, okay? We covered the anglerfish. How did that evolve? You atheists never answered any of the questions, not one.
In the dark. That's how anglerfish evolved. The absence of light does funny things to biology. Once you find a mate in such darkness, the tendency is probably to try to stay close to them, because who knows when you'll find another mate again in the endless shadow realm. So what the anglerfish does is it sticks so close to its mate that they start to merge together. It's kind of romantic if you think about it that way.
Come on now. Where is it? We talked about the tardigrade. Did anybody give any answers to that one? How did this evolve? Come on, guys. We talked about the frog. Hi, I'm a frog. My creator made me. If you think I evolved from nothing for no reason with no designer, you need to go back to school and learn some real science. Yeah. So we studied a few hundreds of ways frogs make babies. Some come out of their mouth, some come out of their back.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the ones that came out of the mouth, that species is actually extinct now, and that's unfortunate, right? Because they're the only tetrapod that we know that did that. It gave birth out of its mouth. Oh, this weird frog in Australia. But I think they're extinct now. And yeah, there's the ones that have the babies that pop out of their back. The clawed frogs, African clawed frogs, are super weird. We can do all kinds of cool experiments with them because their skin's so permeable.
I'd like to know how it evolved, guys. That's all. Then we did the frog. Okay, the honeybee. How did that evolve?
Responded to your honeybee video.
drone and the virgin queen flying around, does he know if he goes and mates with her, it's going to kill him? Does he know? It does. It kills him. Nobody warns them because they all die. No, can't tell the next generation. How did that evolve? Must be pretty strong pheromone she's putting off or something, some kind of perfume. I don't know.
It's because you can't think of any organism that doesn't have a brain as advanced as yours. The bee doesn't care. Death doesn't exist to the individual bee. It's not even a thing that occurs to it. It doesn't have the brain capacity for death to occur to it. It's got its simple instructions in its little between its little bee eyes that tell it to defend its hive, that tell it to propagate its seed, that tell it to collect food for its young. That's it. Stop personifying them so much, and this stuff will make a little bit more sense to you, Kent.
What? How did it evolve, guys? Come on. Hi, I'm a watermelon. You guys never answered the question. That seed contains the information to build a whole vine with thousands of more seeds. How did it evolve? Huh? Starfish, nobody answered that one. Tonight, the praying mantis. My creator made me. If you've been taught I evolved from nothing for no reason with no designer, you need to go back to school, get your...
Does he think this photoshopped image of the mantis on the left with the like dog mouth is real? I wonder.
Money back, I agree. Tonight, how praying mantis make babies. Please subscribe to our channel, tell others about us. Join our 777 Club, help us to open for free. Go to drdino.com. See, I like what they're doing. I'm going to send $1 a day, if you can, to Creation Science Evangelism. That's our ministry, CSE. Okay. We think God ought to get the glory for his creation. We are straight north of Pensacola, 70 miles, and Genesis Baptist Church, and church camp, and science center, and museum. If you can sing or stop by and share your testimony, please do. We have a bunch of tours today. Visitors from, where was that one family from? It was another foreign country, wasn't it? Oh, China. Yeah, had a bunch of people from China came through.
Oh boy.
Been in America for a while. Just hard trying to struggling to learn our crazy language. Yeah, let's see. Real tour, the safari tour. I love giving that one. The science center tour, the farm tour. Isaiah, you're going to get all the side-by-sides running again?
Working on it.
Okay, good. You can handle it. Okay, good. Bring your youth group, men's group, women's group. I hate to call it a retreat. We should not be retreating. We should be advancing. Anyway, okay. Come see our science center with all kinds of cool experiments. Take the real tour. Get our video series for Christmas if you want to get 3.
See, I told you that I skipped 2 minutes into the video because there was all this advertisements. I didn't realize. I mean, I watched it through before, but I was kind of like watching it while I was editing. Didn't realize that after how many. After 2 more minutes, it was going to go back into advertising. Sorry, guys.
Free for $100. Use them as gifts to people. This will change their lives. We've had tens of thousands get saved watching these crazy DVDs. Whole series $50, but get 2, get a 3rd one free, and give them out to everybody you know. And we have a series of special messages on other topics besides creation. Let's see, how to make money. What about
Ring, are you sure about the gastric brooding frogs being found and alive and well? I hope so. That'd be so cool. You can drop a link to it if that's something that did happen. I would love to read about it.
Leviathan, the fire-breathing dragon. Let's start a fire department. Evidence for evolution debunked. Okay. Let's see. The Bible and health. School ideas, different ideas how to teach. Okay. Where's the bride? I like that message. Public school and my magic tricks video. We got to give that young man right there, Matt, give him one, would you? The magic tricks video. I showed him how to do a bunch of magic tricks. Give him the magic tricks video.
Give him the magic tricks video. Kent Hovind's magic tricks video. If there's somebody out there who has a copy of Kent Hovind's magic tricks videos that they want to share with the Hive, that would be fantastic. Let me know.
Show him how to do it. He will love it. There you go. Get our video series and book on what on earth is about to happen, about the future. I like to collect various ways plants and animals.
He says that he's talking about his own prophecies. These are the Hovind prophecies that he's mentioning. He's got a little map and everything about it's behind him. You can see it. Lean into it, Hovind. You're a freaking prophetic cult leader. Why are you not calling yourself what you're trying to be? Are you afraid of the repercussions of being a false prophet?
Mark, is Mark here? I'm here. Mark, you're the one suggested I do the praying mantis. Thank you, brother. This one is stunning.
I should have started
the
here, I guess.
Mantis, how they make babies. Since you evolutionists believe the mantis slowly evolved from a protozoa over millions of years with no designer and no reason, please give a scientific explanation for each of the major steps involved when the mantis makes babies. If you cannot, will you please admit that you believe it evolved rather than you know it evolved? Fair enough? What's unfair about that? You don't know. Just say, okay, we don't know. We believe it. Good. It's a religion. I've been saying that.
But we have like the fossilized predatory cockroaches that were the ancestors of mantises. We know that mantises and cockroaches share a common ancestor, and they're the dicterians, dissectarians, and they did leave a fossil record for us to understand. There's look at predatory cockroaches of the Mesozoic. They were a prominent clade.
Praying mantis making babies. Can you get it up on screen for the people here to see, or no? Okay. You don't get to see it tonight. You have to watch it on YouTube. Praying mantis making babies. There are 2,400 different kinds of praying mantis. They might have had a common ancestor. Praying mantis. Yeah.
What about the ones that are more cockroach-like? Because we still have cockroach-like mantises. Look up terrestrial or ground mantises. They kind of lay a cross between a cockroach and a praying mantis because they're closely related. Again, we have their common ancestor in the fossil record. This isn't speculative stuff, my friend.
Let's see. They live in the tropical and temperate parts of the world, have a very complex body and very complicated way of making babies, okay? If you have praying mantises in your garden, yay. People buy the eggs to put in their garden so they can get them because they kill all the other insects.
Yeah, they buy invasive ones too. They buy Chinese mantises and release them into their gardens. That's why we have naturalized Chinese mantises in North America, and usually if you're in an urban setting and you find mantises in your yard, they're Chinese mantises. Carolina mantises are going to be more finding them in rural areas, just in general.
They only live 4 to 6 months. Some only live 4 to 8 weeks. They're born, grow up, get married, have babies, like an egg sac. They die. The eggs stay all winter and hatch out the next year. Incredible. And make a new batch of praying mantises. So the new mantises don't have mommy or daddy to teach them anything. But they know how to do whatever mantises do. How do they know that? Who taught them? There's the praying mantis.
Because again, it's because you can't think of anything more complex or simple, for that matter, than a human brain. They don't require all the other stuff. Just the information to follow their biological paths to propagate. The ones that didn't do that don't make it. So that's how they know how to do it. You just throw everything on the wall and see what sticks, so to speak. But it's just a reproductive strategy. It's common in turtles do it. Crocodiles and alligators do it. You don't have to have a parent to teach you how to do stuff. Not every species has as complex social structures as we do. Now, interesting thing about mantises is they're more on the solitary end of things, to the point where they can't be around each other. Where when you move more towards cockroaches, they get more and more communal, until on the opposite end of this family, you find termites, which are eusocial. They're some of the most communal insects in the world. So you got the whole spectrum within this clade that we can see every step along the way, from solitary hunter to social, what do you call them, agriculturalist, I guess.
They have incredibly complex eye, including 3 eyes in the middle of their head and 1 on each side. Like my wife said, that was so brilliant. They don't even know what they look like. They can't see themselves. How do they know to find the right mate? That's brilliant. Praying mantis, there are some just stunning praying mantises. The colors, there's the one that looks like a flower.
Orchid mantis.
Blends right in, looks like a flower. And they don't go hunting for their prey. They sit real still, the bug comes around, and they're lightning fast to grab that bug. And they got little hooks under their arm to grab them, and they can't get out. Once they get you, you're done. They even get hummingbirds and lizards, big ones, and eat them.
Yep. Snakes
Fascinating
too.
facts about praying mantis. Most of them live in the tropics. Over 2,000 species of mantis. Mantis we see most often in the U.S. are exotic species. The China mantis is one of the most common, brought into Philadelphia about 80.
The China mantis. He's like Trump that way. The China mantis. It's the Chinese mantis. Tenodera. Yeah.
Years ago. Let's see. Yes, female mantises do eat their mates. Praying mantis, the male mantis does not always survive.
It really does depend on the species, and some species are certainly more prone to cannibalizing their mates than others.
Mating season. Between 13 and 28% of the mating encounters end with sexual cannibalism, in which the female praying mantis bites off the head and eats him. 2016 study, researchers found females cannibalized their male partner produced significantly more eggs than those that did not, suggesting that their cannibalistic behavior may increase the chance of reproductive success.
Yeah, having a good meal after reproducing to make sure that all the nutrients that your baby gets gets the most nutrient packed developmental juices, so to speak, as the eggs develop. Absolutely, that makes sense.
If he sneaks up behind her, he's just a little off his grip. The female might bite his head off and dine on her brainless suitor as he continues to pass sperm into her body. A bunch of guys eating breakfast over there this morning, I showed them the stuff I'd found about she bites his head off and he keeps going to make babies. And they said, we all knew that. It doesn't take a brain, you know. Keep going on. Let's see. He continues.
So yeah, I'm not surprised that a lot of people know this. It's kind of what praying mantises are famous for. There's memes about it and cartoons about it. So it's not like surprising that your people are aware of that this goes on.
Used to pass sperm into her body. Sometimes the impetuous female partially eats the male before he even mounts her. In this case, the headless wonder swings his legs around until his body touches hers, climbs onto her back, and copulates as though nothing were amiss. Headless sex, you can Google it. Copulatory movements in mantids are controlled by masses of nerve tissue in the abdomen rather than the brain. Two different brains. Males of some mantis species...
No, it's not two different brains. Where did you read that? Where did you read that there are two different brains? It's nerve twitching, going through their functions. Humans do that too. You have nerves that'll twitch in your body after you die. It's kind of creepy.
Mate more effectively when they're decapitated. I'm serious, okay? A nerve center of the male's head inhibits mating, makes him scared of her. Once that's gone, he ain't scared no more. Until the female is clasped. If this nerve is removed, such as when the female bites off his head, all control is lost and the result is repeated copulation. People living in the Middle Ages believe the mantis spent most of their lives praying to God. That's why they call them the praying mantis, okay? And some Muslims insist that mantis always pray with their heads facing Mecca.
I will absolutely disagree with that. I have mantises behind me right now facing every direction you can think of. Unlike the spiders, it's weird that tarantulas all tend, I've noticed that in my vivariums, all the tarantulas will be facing the same way. I don't know what that's about, but the mantises go all willy-nilly.
Right. Mantis is a Greek word meaning prophet or clairvoyant. So, my first question, how does the male mantis know to look for a female mantis? He doesn't know what he looks like. How does he know what his mate should look like?
So he's confused about how any animal looks for a mate. How do you look for a mate? Good grief! you're attracted to something. Did somebody draw a picture of what a woman looks like that you were like, oh, this is an attractive woman? You're attracted to what you're attracted to. You see people and you're like, oh, that person's attractive. The mantis is the same way. They have neurological triggers.
Did this evolve? I'd like some real science, please. No dodging and no, oh, look at the squirrel. How does he know which one's his mate? Huh? Praying mantis.
He looks for something that looks like what his brain says that he needs to be mating with. I'm not sure how you're confused here.
Mating and cannibalism. There's an article on thought.com. Well, somebody sent me this one. The female praying mantis devours the male within minutes after mating, with the human female prefers to stretch it out over a lifetime. Did you send me that?
Take my wife, please. That's the level of comedy that we're getting. We're going harkening back to boomer comedy.
Randall.
Mantises are always the answer, Aunt Jer.
Okay. The female praying mantis, known for cannibalistic behavior, biting off the head or legs of her mate and eating them. This behavior occurs in less than 30% of all mating sessions in the wild and may have evolutionary advantages for the praying mantis species, not for the male. They got to throw in the word evolution. They got to give glory to evolution, or it won't get peer reviewed and published. Yeah, we understand. Okay. Evolutionary
that's literally the science, is understanding how having this feature is an advantage compared to not having that feature. That's how we study evolution, my friend.
Same article here. There are interesting evolutionary advantages to this behavior. Oh, the male praying mantis brain, located in the head, controls inhibition. The ganglion of the abdomen controls the motions of copulation. Without his head, the male mantis will lose his inhibitions and continue mating, which means he can fertilize more of the eggs. Oh, okay. So, second question, guys.
The ganglia is repeating its function. It's just going through its motion. Without a brain, it doesn't need a brain. Just like your body can sit there and twitch after your head's been cut off. Chickens can live without a brain or without their head too. I don't know if you were aware of that, Kent. We got to talk about that sometime soon too. The headless chicken. Since mating is often fatal for the male mantis, what drives him to even want to mate? What drives a human to want to mate? What drives any species
is often
to
fatal
want to
for the
mate?
male. What drives him to even want to mate? Why would he want to? Praying mantis inflates a strange pheromone gland to lure mates. The female mantis has a little inflatable gland that comes out and puts off a pheromone, and he smells it and goes nuts. How did that evolve? And how did they do it before it evolved? What happened there? Did this
not all species of mantises have that gland, or at least not one that's of that shape and in size. A lot of them just have a little flap that opens up. Different things for different functions. But they've evolved different ways to do it. How did they? You just said they all had the same common ancestor. So how is one mantis group that doesn't have that, or has a different shaped one, or has a different signaling method? How did those evolve, Kent? You claim that all these mantises have a common ancestor, but you can't explain the things that have evolved differently between the different clades of mantises. Because some of them don't eat their mate. Some of them can live communally. I have ghost mantises that live in groups. Not all of them are cannibals.
Gland evolved by chance? I would like a scientific answer. Tell me how this happened. Step by step. I mean, go from no gland at all to a gland that works and puts off a pheromone that attracts the male. Does she?
You accept that, though. You just said earlier that you accept that all mantises had a common ancestor called a mantis. Okay. Some of those mantises have that gland and some of them don't. So you've already accepted that the evolution of that gland.
You know what he likes to smell? Come on, guys, give an answer. Please, hello, answer me. Number 4. Why would they want to make more babies? All that does is increase competition for the food supply. But it seems like all the animals and plants want to make more babies.
Because the ones who don't want to make babies don't pass on genes. Only animals with the drive to make babies made babies. So what makes them want to make babies? They had the drive to make babies, so they made babies, and they're the ones who passed on their ancestry, or passed on not their ancestry, passed on their genetics to their the descendants.
They don't ever want to just live forever. All you're doing is increasing competition. See, I'd like an answer, guys. How did this evolve? And you're going to say, well, they can't live forever, so it had to. That's not a scientific answer. Come on. Give me a step-by-step. How did this evolve? Okay, number 5. Did the male evolve first or the female? Where's the evidence for which one evolved first?
So male and female there were already males and females way before mantises. That precedes insects in general. Arthropods in general already had males and females. I think you're confused about how this works. The species that evolved into mantises were already divided in male and female in their reproductive strategy.
And is there scientific evidence that both evolved at the same time, in the same place, and were able to find each other?
This is like Ray Comfort right here. Remember, like, how does the dog? It has to wait millions of years to evolve eyes so it can find the female dog.
See, just the equipment to make babies is pretty complicated. You also got to have the drive to make babies, which is pretty complicated. How did this come about, Steph?
Yeah, but anybody without the drive to make babies didn't. So only the ones that did, no matter how complicated it was, only those ones passed on their genes. So those are the only survivors, no matter how rare they were. If they're the only ones that passed on their genes, then they're the only ones that passed on their genes. Oh my gosh. This is like the level of incredulity that it's unprecedented.
Step by step, by chance. Answer, please, okay? This guy said, our study indicates there's much more to the mantis strike than originally thought. The mantis can transform the visual image of prey approaching, so if a fly is coming into his range, into a precisely timed motor program to catch it. He has to watch the thing come, precisely time everything, thrust his arms out to grab it. I mean, flies are pretty quick. You try to catch one.
Yeah.
Okay. Even more surprisingly, mantises are monitoring their prey throughout the attack, as indicated by the fact that they can pause their attack. So they can start to attack and realize, oh, I can't do it. He's not close enough, or he moved, or something went wrong.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the worst case...
So most of this is just going to be incredulity. It's just going to be like, I don't understand how this works.
Supposedly when they start attacking too late, we show they can even give up and abandon the strike. The fact that their nervous system can do these calculations and detect its own mistake is quite remarkable, especially given how fast the attacks are, usually 1/10 of a second. 1/10 of a second. He sees the fly and gone. And the little hooks on the arm to grab the fly. Can't get away. Is there a scientific evidence you guys can offer for how the mantis evolved this complex nervous system and his brain to keep going? Can you explain that, please?
Even a baby, like a human baby, right? You already have the sucking motion. Like you understand this, or you accept? Are you saying that God teaches babies how to suck on a nipple? Because that's the same level of incredulity. How did you learn how to use your muscles? That's what you're asking. How did you learn how to use your body and the way that it was evolved to move?
And their eyes, they triangulate to calculate the distance, like you can do. You can say that's further, that's closer.
They more than triangulate, they pentangulate because they have 5 eyes.
Closer, because you have 2 eyes, and you can tell your eyes are pulling in as something gets closer. And your brain feels that, because since the eyeball's not perfectly round, the bump on the back.
They have 5 eyes, not 2. They have ocelli too. So they're whole, and then they have their antenna as well. So they're packed down with sensory perception. So they're really good at triangulating.
Pushes on nerves. You say, oh no, I'm going cross-eyed. This thing's getting closer. And you can calculate distance, called triangulation. The mantis does that. How did that evolve? I mean, step by step. Not just, it's here, oh, look at the squirrel. Come on. How did it happen? There's a purple praying mantis. one that looks like a big flower. This is a, they're just, this, and
That's not even a praying, that's not even a praying mantis. That's a mantis. Hold on, this is a praying mantis, but
big flower.
that is a mantis shrimp. That's a completely different clade, dude. And the fact that you can't tell them from a praying mantis tells me a lot about your incredulity. Oh my. Oh my.
This is a, they're just, this, and 2,400 varieties of mantis. I wish you guys could see these here. You'll have to watch the video. It'll blow your mind. Stunning. Alien-looking mantises have a pair of fierce, grasping legs that allow them to catch their prey, long legs that allow them to lunge, and a triangular head that twists 180 degrees. They may see all around them. They can sit perfectly still and turn their head all the way and look backwards.
You're like an owl.
Rubbernecking. The praying mantis is the only insect that can look over its shoulder. They wait motionless and use camouflage to help them catch unsuspecting insects. Some tropical species can mimic a beautiful orchid flower, leaves, or twigs. Does he know he looks like a leaf?
No, their nervous system
They can
tells
actually
them to
change
stand
their
still.
color to match their surroundings over a period of days. If they happen to land on a particular plant and like it there, they can decide to start to look like that plant. Can you decide to
Well, decide. Oh my. No, they don't decide. They molt and their colors change, and it helps them better match with their environment as they grow. It's so weird that you use the term decide to match their environment or decide to camouflage themselves. It's so you misunderstand that the whole nature of Batesian selection, right?
start to look like the carpet on your house because you want to blend in? Question number 8 for you atheists. Do you ever wish your handlers would let you publish papers saying how amazingly designed it is? You're not allowed to do that. You have to give glory to evolution. I know your handlers won't let you publish it unless it gives glory to their religion and your religion.
It's not giving glory. It's just saying, hey, this is how we see that this organism evolved based on its genetics, physiology, and what we see in the fossil record. So triangulation.
Do you ever wish, though, that you could just praise God for the mantis? I can praise God for a thumb. Man, that's amazing. Wow. I don't have a problem praising God, giving glory to Him. There's a great video clip about 10 most beautiful praying mantises in the world. Watch that sometime. Let's see. Mantises need to make incredibly quick decisions because they don't chase their prey. For this reason, they have evolved 2 forward-facing eyes. Oh. They just evolved that way because they can't chase their prey. You got to give glory to evolution or it won't get published. I understand.
Do you think that the current scientific model doesn't say that that insects evolve eyes to help them with predatory endeavors? Is that the claim?
Understand. That's animals.how stuff works. Let's see. They have a flexible neck like owls. They can direct their gaze in pretty much any direction. Once the prey is in the right position, the visual field, they can then use their 2 eyes to triangulate and extract object size and position, much like we humans do with our eyes. Number 9, question 9. Please explain how the mantis evolved the ability to triangulate. That's basically
by triangulation. Its need to catch prey, its need to reproduce, and its need to survive in order to do both.
Trigonometry in your brain and fast reflexes to catch the prey. How do they do that? Their leg is phenomenal. They got the fibia, the femur, the claws all along there, just perfectly designed to grab insects. And some of them do the voodoo, the karate stance, you know, with their arms out like that. There's a bright purple one, a green one, a yellow one.
That purple one's Photoshop.
Explain how the mantis evolved the perfect little spikes on its forelimbs. Those little spikes had to come from an amoeba, you know.
Spikes are pretty simple. And no, mantises didn't evolve just directly from amoebas. They evolved from a long line of arthropods with jointed limbs and chitin exoskeletons that perform a variety of functions.
Just don't have any spikes, don't have any legs. You got to get a whole bunch of new information.
Why did God make mosquitoes? That's a good question, Johnster Monster. Guess Dr. Hoven will have to give you that.
These hatch out, you see them start to stretch out. How did the muscles develop inside that shell for them to move when they don't need them? Why did the muscles grow when they don't need the muscles in there? Matt, do they even think about this? They don't even think. There's a bright blue one, mantis. After mating, the female lays about 300 eggs in foam. She has a special gland that produces foam to go around, like great stuff or spray foam.
Ootheca.
To go around the eggs.
Called. Roaches do that too.
Foam hardens to protect them, and they stay there all winter. So wait. The female, this is her first time. She only lives to do this once. She mates for her first time, lays 300 or so eggs, and already has the gland to make the foam to insulate the babies. Let's see. Praying mantis from University of Illinois. The egg case, which we tend to find in fall and winter, are light brown, 1.5 inches wide, and look like foam insulation. Within each foam-like case are dozens or hundreds of mantis eggs that can survive the perils of winter because of their foamy insulation. So how did they survive for millions of years in the winter before they had the insulation? Did they have that gland for no reason?
No, they evolved in tandem, dude.
Would you quit playing around and pretending?
I bet the ones in the tropical regions can't survive in the winter. I bet if you took a tropical mantis egg case and put it over winter in Illinois, that it would not survive. I bet the eggs would not hatch in the spring. What do you think, Kent? How did you accept that all these mantises have a common ancestor? How come they can't all survive the winter? They all have foam, right? They all have foam glands.
Evolution is science. It's a religion. Here's some cases, the foam mantis cases.
That's a Chinese mantis
about them. They leave a foamy garden ornament in your landscape, and then they die. The babies never meet mom and dad. You see them all over the place, a little foam patch full of eggs. Let's see. Praying mantis eggs. The adult female Chinese praying mantis will lay her massive egg case, known as the ootheca, on twigs, stems, rocks. Now watch. Instead of answering my questions, they're going to pick on how I pronounce the word. I prophesy that. Okay. Carolina praying mantis oothecas are smaller and flatter, almost resembling a fossilized trilobite. After laying, the case quickly hardens in preparation for a winter slumber, and the mother will die shortly after. The egg case, which we tend to find in fall and winter, are light brown, 1.5 inches wide, and look like foam insulation. With each foam-like ootheca are dozens of hundreds of mantis eggs that can survive the perils of winter because of their foamy insulation.
Yeah, in those two
About
species.
20% of the babies will survive. How did she learn to make the foam? And after she sprayed...
She took a foam making course at her local junior college. Are you really asking this? How does a woman push out a baby, dude? We have the physiological functions to do so. This is so weird. Who taught human women to give birth? Do you think that there was a class that was given, or do you think that your body goes through the motions of giving birth? You're so weird, dude.
Sprays out this foam as the eggs are being laid. All of them are lined up, and they all have their own opening to the outside. They've all got their own exit door. Does she know that while she's laying them? She lays them out like that.
He's overgeneralizing too. Different mantis species lay their ootheca down in different ways, depending on where they're from, what types of plants they lay their ootheca on, and what type of prey they're planning on their babies engaging with.
They've hardened to protect them for the winter. Yeah, stunning. Where did the gland come from? How does one little bug lay 300 eggs? Let's see one of you women do that. And these egg cases of foam. Thought.com has a good article about it, but they still give glory to evolution.
Of course they do. It's evolution. Do you think that any mainstream publication is going to have a writing staff that believes that God made everything magically?
Lay between 50 to 400 eggs in a foamy case. The foam is secreted from a gland in her abdomen. The foam looks white when laid, but it turns brown as it hardens. Here's somebody cut one in half, a cross section. Here's a cross section of what the egg case looks like when it's laid open. Each egg has its own chamber and exits to the outside of the egg case. How do you do that with foam? How do you spray foam and make each one have its own opening? So question 11. Please explain, evolutionists, step by step, how the mantis evolved the ability to produce foam. Does she know? Why does she care about protecting her young? She's going to die. Doesn't matter to her. She mates, lays her eggs, and dies.
She just following her natural instincts, my dude.
What's her concern for the next generation?
What do you mean concern? Concern is a human construct. Please stop personifying insects. They are not people. They don't have concerns.
Protect her young that she will never see. Who taught her and equipped her to do this?
Nobody taught her.
A real science answer, please.
Instinct.
Okay. Question. Let's see. What was that? Question. Oh, does she teach her female babies to do the same? No, she's dead. They just know. The brand new female, never seen mom, never seen dad, just knows how to make an egg case. Interesting. There's a whole bunch of babies hatching at the same time coming out of the egg case. Let's see. Question 12. How did the mantis learn to make this foam and lay the eggs in a pattern where each has its own opening to the outside? Give me a real scientific answer, please. How did that happen? They can eat a hummingbird. Here's one that looks like a leaf. Question number 13. Does the mantis know it's camouflage to blend in?
No.
Does it know?
You're so
really
weird,
this
dude.
happened by...
You think that it has to consciously be aware that it's hidden. It's just following instinct. It's not saying, "Oh, I'm hiding from predators." It's saying, "Hey, I'm doing the thing my biology tells me to do. Look, there's a fly. Num num num. Look, there's a female. Womp womp womp. Whatever the situation is, it has perfectly understandable biological instincts that drive it to do this. If you understand how a baby wants to seek out a nipple as soon as it comes out, then you should be able to understand this, Kent.
Random natural selection? Come on, really? I predict evolutionists will answer none of my simple questions with any real scientific answers. But will instead, I don't have a short attention span. I
even gave you simple answers.
Oh, look at the squirrel. Atheists will avoid all these questions like they've done all the other animals and plants in this Making Babies series, and will try to deflect and say, where's your degree from? Majority opinion. Oh, everybody believes in evolution. Oh, okay. And just so, well, it must have happened because it's here. Oh, look at the squirrel. You guys
I didn't
don't
give
have
any
an
of those
answer, you should
answers.
admit it.
Well,
oh, Lord, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. I will sing unto the Lord as long as I live. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Praise the Lord. All through the Bible it says we should bless the Lord and praise the Lord. See, I can look at a mantis.
Why do I care what the Bible says? Explain it to me. Why should I care what the Bible says? I don't understand. Explain.
And say, man, this is stunning. How did this evolve? They hear with their abdomen. Just study praying mantis and see all the cool...
Insects don't have ears on their head, dude. They don't. They don't breathe. They breathe through their abdomen too. They don't have any respiratory function on their head either. Yeah.
Cool stuff about them. If you have some, we'd send the egg cases here. We'll put them in our garden. You want them in your garden. They eat all the insects.
Not invasive species.
Behold the works of the Lord. Be still and know that I'm God. Amen. Give God the glory. Glory to his name. A lot of verses about that. A man can no more diminish God's glory by refusing to worship him than a lunatic can put out the sun by scribbling the words darkness on the walls of his cell. C.S. Lewis.
Yeah,
like
C.S. Lewis, sure.
Every one of us shall give account of himself to God. Romans 14. Philippians 2.
Talking about bending the knee, mantises have lots of knees.
Shall bow of things in heaven, things in earth, things under the earth. Every tongue shall confess Jesus Christ is Lord. You're going to bow one day.
What does this have to do with mantises?
Can't take question and answer for the next week. Sorry about that. You can send them in to, where do they send them, Randall? Questions? whackanatheist@gmail.com. Okay, send them in. Any questions from here? We can at least take yours. Praying mantis, if you get a chance to get some egg cases, bring them, put them in the garden. Okay, see you Sunday morning for Ephesians chapter 4. You might.
All right, so that was Creation Watch. Some Hoven for your holes, for your ear holes on either side of your head to absorb and make you slightly dumber than you were before. Sorry, guys, but actually, hopefully I counter that and make you a little bit smarter as we go along and learn these things. Do want to talk about the giant cockroach that Kent Hovind claimed to have a giant cockroach fossil years ago. Now it seems to have disappeared. Anyway, cockroaches are very closely related to mantises, and yeah, I want to just pop over to read this really quick. Cockroach from the dinosaur era was a fearsome nighttime hunter. So these are the relatives of mantises, and kind of you see the correlation here in the relationship. London, 100 million year old cockroach specimen found preserved in amber is part of a new family of extinct predatory cockroaches that hunt at night, scientists say. The species, which was discovered in a mine in Noji Bom, Myanmar, boasts a long neck that allows it to freely rotate its head, like a mantis. Look at that. The prehistoric roach had long, spindly legs, much like many predatory insects today. According to the study published in the Journal of Geologica Carpathica, an analysis of the ancient specimen named Manipulator modificaputus, that's a cool name, suggests that it is a predatory insect likely pursuing prey at night. Modern roaches, while largely nocturnal, can be found scavenging from food, looking for anything from sweet to even hair, moldering books, and other decaying matter. It's because they have the ability to digest that the cellulose in the books and pages. Like, that's why, I mean, termites are a type of roach that specialized in that and became really eusocial. Again, according to Peter Vrsanky from the Geological Institute in Bratislava, Slovakia, and Gunter Beachley from the State Museum of Natural History in Stuttgart, Germany, who examined the insect. The specimen comes from the early Cretaceous period, from whence several predatory cockroach-like lineages evolved. Today, only one of those lineages remains, the praying mantis. Modern mantises have similar legs for careful pursuit and are actually close cousins of cockroaches, despite how different they look. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to share that and look at this reconstruction of it, because it's halfway between your cockroach and your praying mantis, or your modern cockroach and your modern praying mantis, I should say. All right, so that was some Cryptic Corner, or not Cryptic Corner. We did Cryptic Corner earlier, but yeah, definitely tune in Friday night for Cryptic Corner, because it's going to be an awesome show, and you get to hang out with me and all these cool cats over here as we explore more aspects of the mysterious and unknown. So thank you guys for joining me tonight, though, in Creation Watch. Appreciate you, and please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.